All right, guys, we are here today. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hope you guys are doing good today. Yeah. Let me get some. Market's still in this range, man. It hasn't really gone anywhere. We're still kind of holding these support levels I drew yesterday, so I'll probably just keep those levels up. Range, man. It hasn't really gone anywhere. We're still kind of holding. What's up, Faye, Jonathan, Yay, MK, ER, Bunny, Keegan. What's up, guys? So according to a Reuters poll, the Federal Reserve is going to hold and pause on the 29th of January, according to all 103 economists, while 61 out of 103 look for a cut to 4 to 4.25 in March. So, yeah. If we look at this, like I'm seeing this Reuters poll now. And again, I mean, this isn't a shock. I've been telling you guys we were going to pause rates. I was telling you guys we were going to pause rates for the last week straight, basically. It's not really a shock. If we look at the CME watch tool here, right? You look at this thing, 97 to 3. It's been 97 to 3 for really for a month now. Hey, what's up, Beach Bum, UFC Shorts, Sam? Market's bouncing right at that support level. Hold. Let's see if we can find a good opportunity here. It's early. Dude, I haven't been doing well on my combine accounts at all, bro. Like, I've been trying, but for some reason, yeah, some reason just not doing that well on my combine accounts. I'm on like today. If I'm green today, it'll make it 10 green days in a row. Let me see. I'm pretty sure if I'm green today, it's 10. Yesterday was 9. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, if I'm green today, it's 10 green days in a row. So we'll see if we can keep it up. Alright, guys, so we are testing that top level here. I guess I'll try. Let me see. Alright. Yeah, we got some movement here. I want to be able to trade a little bit, so I'm going to just try a combine account here. Look at that run. All right, guys. So all right, man. I'm waking up. I'm looking at some market news today. We have housing starts and building permit data today. Hey, do you? If you go through my link, you'll get the discount. Illy. John Ceasefire. Hey, that's good. Lean Hogs. Is that a futures contract? What do you trade on Topstep that is not volatile and manageable? I mean, everything's volatile. You just got to limit your risk. Like, where Topstep is good is that, like, I can trade the micro NASDAQ, and there's 0 commissions. And so I can trade micro contracts here, and there's 0 commissions, only a small amount of fees. You can see 0 commissions, only a small amount of fees per trade and contract. And so I can make $5 still net profit. And so that limits the volatility a lot. And I can trade 1 or 2 micros, like literally scalp 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks to trade, sometimes less. And it curbs the risk for me. I'm a huge wimp when it comes to trading. I would rather make 4 $50 gains to make $200 than 1 $200 gain. I'm a huge wimp in trading. And so Topstep allows me to do that easier than any other funded program because there's no commissions. I can trade up to like, I think it's like 20 micros, maybe more, per trade. And so it's just easy to scale in, out, limit my risk, you know. The disclaimers certainly protect me. You know, not only I'll put it this way, even if we did not have disclaimers, I would still be protected. Anytime I plug anything, I tell people I'm biased. I get paid by them. And anytime I talk about what I think is going to happen, I always wrap it in a disclaimer myself that says, hey, not a professional. If you copy me, you might lose. Do not copy me. I have no idea what's going to happen or what the market's going to do, and I can't guarantee anything. And so I've done a very good job of wrapping everything I do in that, just because, like, you know, it really is to the point where if anybody tried to get weird with me, it would make them look bad because there's so many other people being much worse than I am and not wrapping it in those type of disclaimers. There's so many people trying to tell people stock picks and give out stock picks and telling people this is going to happen and this is going to happen, and they're making videos telling people to sell and telling people to buy, and I'm just not really doing any of that stuff. And so I'm pretty protected. I've talked to attorneys, and I have a couple, and yeah, I'm pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, I never really liked Neo. Neo is an up-and-coming EV brand. There's risks in a lot of those, but I don't know what it's going to do, of course. No freaking idea. All right. Got some new music here. I like this. It's kind of like Saturday morning vibes. All right. All right, chat. So yeah, we did get a combine account up so we can trade it, and we'll see if we can find some opportunity to do this. See See if we can get something good today. We haven't had the best results. Honestly, what I should do, but I want to make you guys happy, what I should do is wait to trade until after the opening bell. Like really what I certainly should do that. Like I certainly should wait until the opening bell to do it, but I don't really give out advice though, Eric. And so like, you know, people can claim whatever, but I don't ever give out advice. I might say what I think is going to happen, what I don't think is going to happen. I never pressure people to do anything, and I always have disclaimers up. And so I'm safe, man. You know, they would lose. I've got good lawyers. They would lose. You know, again, you got to think about the context of like how many other people are on YouTube being much worse than I am. And, you know, that type of thing, right? Like, you got to look at that context. Yeah, and again, even Bao saying, you told me not to buy Neo, and now Neo's down, which means I was correct, right? But I never told him not to buy Neo. I might have said I didn't like Neo, you know? The reason there's that big old letter of I'm not a market professional is do not copy me, you know, is so that people can understand, like, look, I have no idea what I'm doing, guys. Do not copy me. If you copy me, you'll probably lose. We got housing starts and building permit data coming out. All right, so we're going to try to trade here. We got this big rebounding upward trend. I'm going to think this is a liquidity grab. I'm going to cut this and switch to NASDAQ. Hopefully I have some levels on the NASDAQ here. Not as many. I'm still going to short this. There we go. I'm going to add to this now. 4 contracts here. Yeah, you might be right, Sam. I mean, looking at just like my success rate in actual funded accounts versus my success rate in combines. Yeah, I think it's trying to speed pass it. Like, I'm trying to pass it quickly. I trade basically the same, just with larger size. Alright. So we ended up making about $240 there. Yeah. Yeah, well, but I'll probably be a little bit less aggressive today for sure. Yeah, so like the easiest way to put the disclaimer thing to rest, even if you watch Dumb Money, the movie Dumb Money, and you hear Roar and Kitty talk about it, it's the industry standard for live streamers to put disclaimers up, right? They protect you. And if they, you know what I mean? Like, if it's the industry standard, you have to take that context into it. And so that's what we do. We put disclaimers up. Just for anybody else that might be live streaming, put your disclaimers up. It's the industry standard. It's widely accepted to be good enough. You know, can't guarantee anything. Not an investment professional. And then just don't give out advice, you know. Hey, thank you, Jeffrey. What are the odds of next week's Fridays closing above this week's Friday? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know, sir. Not an investment professional. I appreciate the donation, though. But I genuinely have no idea if next week's going to be higher than this week. I think you can look at it two different ways. And again, I have no idea what's going to happen. Don't copy me. Not an investment professional. Which this is good because it kind of shows what I do when somebody asks me a question like this. You got two different trains of thought here. Number one, we could be in a downward trend. We've kind of been in a downward trend for, if we put an hourly chart up, we've kind of been in a downward trend since, is that yesterday? Oh, hold on. Yeah, we've been in a downward trend since mid-December, right? And honestly, if I'm gonna draw this chart out. Where's my pen? I'm excited because I get a long weekend this weekend too. So like, look, I'm gonna draw this out for, ignore the support and resistance, but we have this downward trend here, and I think it's a very clear downward trend. Again, I have no idea what it's gonna do. It might just rip up in our face. I have no freaking idea, but I think we got a very clear downward trend here. So we could continue downward for the next week. We're at the top of the range here, and we could come back down. That's possible, right? I'm not saying it's likely, but it's possible. We could also say, okay, well, we've been downtrending for a month now. Maybe we'll rebound back up. I don't know if that's going to happen either. We're starting to see some strength back up here, and maybe we continue back up next week. I would put it 50-50. Like, I don't think anybody really knows, and I think what is going to influence this the most is earnings. And the inauguration action, like what we get Monday. If, like, a lot of people think markets are going to run Monday, even though the stock and futures market are closed, but a lot of people think like crypto markets are going to run. It's going to create optimism in regular markets, and we're going to see some runs on inauguration day. Some people do theorize that. It's possible. I don't know. It's possible. But it depends on how the market reacts to that as well, right? And if we're going all the way back to next Friday, not the movie, it really depends on like jobless claims, unemployment filings. I don't think we have any other big economic data next week. Let me ask AI, but I'm pretty sure we don't. So we got the World Economic Forum annual meeting next week on January, from Tuesday to Friday. We got unemployment claims, crude oil on Thursday next week. Friday we have the Japanese rate decision, which is actually pretty big. We got manufacturing PMI, flash services PMI, and existing home sales data. And so, yeah. It's going to depend on all that stuff, like what the market looks like from all that stuff, how the market responds to all that stuff. All right, so we got a big downward push here. I'm going to go ahead and short, but I don't really like it too much. I'm going to add 2 contracts max here unless we get into the green, and then we might add more. All right, so there's 2. I do not like that push at all. I'm going to cut half of this now. Okay. Locking a little bit of profit in here. See if I can salvage this trade. Alright, so we're slightly green. 1 contract left. We'll leave it. I don't really like it. It looks strong. It looks like it might go up, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Alright, there we go. It's better. We'll add back to it now. Look, for all the... I'm going to change the top scroller to this. I have no idea what I'm talking about. If you copy me, you might lose. I think I'll leave it like that. I like the self-deprecating humor of it. What's Pony AI? Cash Pete. I think we rally into Tuesday and then sell off Wednesday into Friday. Maybe. Alright. We're going to add to this. And then see if we get some breakdowns quickly here. There we go. Just a quick breakdown we wanted. Bad fill so far. But there we go. Alright, so now we're green. 2 contracts again. I like the inverse head and shoulders. That was a good fill, but now we're just gonna cut this here and get out. So we made money on the trade, but not much. We're kind of flat over that whole trade log. A little bit over managing the trade. I'd rather paper trade today. Yeah, good luck. Let's do a poll here. We'll ask the question. Whew. Are you bullish regarding next? Are you bullish over the next week of market action? Yes or no? Are you bullish or bearish? Yeah, you bullish or bearish? Let me know how you feel. Vote on the poll. Poll is live now. We should have held that short too. I think we would have made money. Look at that. Mostly bull, 82%. Yeah, what about Taiwan Semiconductors? How's that one performing, man? That one is that one had earnings earlier this week. Still up a decent amount though. Not quite at where it was at 222s, but it's still pretty decently up there. Gold's been pumping up too, man. Here's Taiwan Semiconductors. Nvidia's weak over the last 24 hours or so. Had a really red day yesterday. Kind of bounced a little bit. We're kind of flat right now. This looks weak, but choppy nonetheless. Yeah, I'm an Aquarius, but I don't really buy into the horoscope thing, man. It says Aquarius is... intellectually curious, deeply social. Humanitarian. What the heck is this, bro? You're supposed to be... You're supposed to be... Oh my gosh, dude. You're supposed to be freaking instrumentals, bro. What happened? Instrumentals. There we go. Start rapping on there, man. Anyways. Can you still imagine market correcting in the next half a year? I never said half a year. I said in the next year or two is what I said. And yeah, I mean, I still think it could. I don't think we've seen anything that is too heavy in one side, really. It's not about like what we do short term. Like, people have to stop. Like, the issue I think a lot of stock traders look at is like, I'm like, hey, we might correct in the next year or two, like the next 2 years, sometime in the next 2 years. And traders have like 2 or 3 days of bullish action where we're up like 1 or 2%, and they're like, oh, you still think that? I'm not even saying that's your context, like that's your tone with it. I'm just saying we're way too short term to take out any of those. Like, you know, I have no idea what's going to happen. And if you read the top of the screen, if you copy me, you might lose. Don't copy me. I have no idea what I'm talking about. But I don't think we've seen anything over the last few days to change that. I think the market's still up too much. I think it's up way too much. I think after big tech revolutions, we end up correcting sometimes, a lot of the time, really. And, you know, it doesn't mean we have to correct. It doesn't mean we're going to correct. I think there's a couple things that might throw a wrench in it. And so it's never definitive, like anything could happen. One of those things is the new administration, right? Like, again, I'm not saying I want or don't want the new administration. What I'm saying, though, is that the market tends to react positively to it, just looking at the history of the market. After Election Day, market ran. So I think that could throw a wrench in it, certainly, because of optimism and sentiment regarding that. The president-elect taking office in Inauguration Day next Monday. I also think that the market's biggest edge is on the upside. And so I don't think that I'm not the type of person that's going to try to top pick the market in short. I think that's dumb. There's too big of an edge on the long side. If anything, I'm just kind of slowing down my buys, if that makes sense. But everybody's different, you know. Aquarians are known to be analytical, original, humanitarian, assertive, make up their own mind and stick to it. They don't go with the flow. Independent, easygoing. They're into sci-fi technology, writing. See, like, here's the thing, though. I don't believe this. And I think this is confirmation bias, right? It's kind of like those people that talk to dead people and they act like they can talk to like past loved ones and all this different stuff. And they're just kind of telling people what they want to hear, you know? And that's what I think this is doing. Even though it's not actually necessarily wrong, I am into sci-fi. I am into technology. I am a decent writer, believe it or not. Now, humanitarian... I'm kind of a capitalist, to be honest. Like, it's not that I want people to do well. I'll give to the, you know, homeless if I can. But I don't know if I necessarily call myself humanitarian. I think I'm analytical. Assertive depends on the context of it, you know. And so I don't know, man. I think they're just telling me everybody wants to believe they're analytical, assertive, strong. They love their family, you know what I mean? They take care of those they love, you know, like everybody wants to believe that. And so if you tell somebody, yeah, you know, you're a Capricorn and you love your family and you'll do anything for those you care about, you know, but don't make you mad because then you're gonna, you know, you don't forgive, you know what I mean, or something. Like, everybody's gonna want to believe that that's them, right? And so they're just kind of telling you things you want to hear and hoping you run with it. I don't know, man. I'm just not. As well as, like, unless we're in a freaking simulation, I don't know how the month we're born is going to impact our entire personality. You know, not unless we're in some type of simulation and it's just kind of like writing code for each person, and that's the map it uses to write it. Like, that's plausible if you really go super deep with it. But yeah, I don't know. I think lack of any overly transformative policies on day one will be a bullish relief. Maybe. That's possible. Thanks for the donation, brother. Hey, I appreciate it. Right, you could read any zodiac. It feels like it applies to you 100%. Good morning, bro. What's up, dude? Yeah, do we run next week, guys? That's really the question. Moon phases? Maybe. I don't know. And I'm not necessarily opposed to the simulation theory. I'm really not. Like, the more I think about it, the more it kind of makes sense. And they described it in that show, A Glitch in the Matrix. There's a documentary called A Glitch in the Matrix. If you haven't watched it, watch it. At the same time, though, a lot of the stories that they're telling are coming from the point of, like, they're doing mushrooms. And, like, the mushrooms make them think they're in a simulation in this documentary. And so I don't know how much credit we can really give that. But it does kind of mess with your head because it makes sense, I think, right? Like, if it's statistically possible for us to one day create a simulation that is as real as what we see currently out of our eyes, right? That feels as real. And the current, like, MetaQuest 3, very realistic. But if it's possible for deep into the future, let's say 300 years into the future, for us to create a virtual reality that's that real, might not be that long. It might be way earlier than that. Then it's actually statistically more. It's actually statistically more possible, or it's actually statistically more likely, I mean, that we're already in that simulation. And when you think about it in the context of, like, I've gone over this a lot, but it's really interesting to be honest. When you think about it in the context of, if we create our own simulated beings, let's just, in like a video game format, like The Sims, right? And we give it AI personalities, right? And then they become complex and smart enough to where they're creating their own simulated beings and their own simulations. And then those beings are getting smart enough to create their own simulated beings and their simulations. How many levels deep does it go? You know, and what level are we in right now? That's the really mind confusing question, I think, is what level are we in now? But maybe none of it's true, and maybe we're at base reality, and maybe we're just getting to that point technologically that we can do stuff like that. I don't freaking know. Yeah, the Four effect. Yeah. And I really do think, when you think about it in that context, that's the only way the law of attraction makes sense, right? If like, we're just reusing code, you know. And again, I'm not saying I believe any of this. I just think they're fun theories to talk about. I'm kind of a sci-fi nerd, so I do think that's true. All right, guys. All right, we got Taiwan Semiconductors. I'm looking at that here, man. You know, this thing has run so much on microchip strength. Again, the crazy thing is, do we finally start to correct, and by how much? I'm going to ask the chat this. Do you think we correct over the next year or two? And if so, how much? I think we might do like a 15 to 20% correction sometime in the next year and a half, is what I think. I might be wildly wrong. If you copy me, you might lose. I'm not an investment professional. I have no freaking idea what I'm talking about. Do not copy me. But that's what I think. And I think, honestly, I don't think it's terrible either. I think a 15% correction is needed almost. It's kind of necessary. Like, we have gone up hundreds of percent in a lot of tech stocks. In the NASDAQ, we're up over 100% in 2 years. And so I think a correction in that regard is necessary to a certain extent. Commodities are going to be bullish this year too. Maybe. Gold has been flying up. Explain that, Sam. He said none of sim theory is possible without either some form of extra dimensions or some form of multiverse. Well, yeah, I mean, in I don't know. I think you got to think about it in like the context of I use like The Sims. Like we create simulations that we watch and kind of mess with sometimes. And like I think you got to think about it in that context of that's like a human trait is to want to create things like that. And maybe that's what some of the religious texts were talking about too, if you want to put it that way as well, right? That makes sense as well. But I don't know. I think, I think some of the, like, I think when they look at the universe and they think the universe is constantly expanding, I think that lines up with that as well, right? Where it's just kind of like a code that, but I don't know. Again, I don't know. I think it's also possible that humans try to relate everything to what they currently do and like what the current peak of technology is, which would be like the internet right now and AI, and so they're looking at everything under that lens and confusing it with everything, and I think that's also a human thing to do as well. Anyways, we're very choppy, guys. We're very choppy. Stock trading, investing, or gambling digital musical chairs? It depends on which one you're doing. Trading short term, a lot of people are going to consider it gambling. And I think the variance is very high in the same way that like poker, like you can have an edge in poker, but you can also do everything correctly and lose, and you can also do everything wrong and win. But if you do it the right way and you trade correctly with good risk management and you play poker correctly with good risk management, and take what's called plus EV situations throughout your journey of poker, you got a high chance of making money, right? And that's the same in trading, where if you do everything correctly with good risk management and you take plus expected value trades, like trades that over the long run are expected to make you money, over the long run you got a higher chance of making money, right? And I think it's very similar to that. Basically, there's variance, but there's some edge as well. And you just got to find that edge, I think. Yeah, y'all go sub to Beach Bum. There's his link. Great swing trading content. Go check out his live streams this weekend. There's the link right there. Go give that man a subscribe. Great content, honestly. Great content. He's been around for almost as long as I have. Might be longer. I don't know. But y'all go give that man a subscribe. There he is right there. Oh, yeah, I know Game Theory. I know Game Theory, Optimal, GTO. I know a bunch of different ones. It just depends, man. Like which way you should play depends. I like tourneys, right? So I like ICM as well. It just depends. It depends on what we're doing. All right, I'm gonna short this. I like that big retracement back up, but it's just gonna stay 2 contracts. It's not gonna be larger than this. Buy low, hold forever. How can you lose? Well, you can lose by buying bad stocks that are eventually going to go obsolete. And so when you buy things, it's not as easy as just buying and holding forever. You hold it forever, some of those stocks are not going to do well. But if you do it correctly, most of them will, right? So say you buy 10 stocks, and at the time they're blue chip, they're good. 9 out of 10 will probably do well and go up in value over your lifetime. And so it's more so about capitalizing on that. All right, so we're green on this trade. I'm going to lock in half of it, just a little piece of profit here, and then let the rest ride. Small risk. We're in pre-market. One of the things I said is I got to scale down my size. Yeah, but couldn't that be a loop, Sam? All right, now we're going to get out. So we ended up losing a little bit on that trade. We just ended up rebounding too much. We did fill half of that gap, but kind of flat on the trade. We lost a little bit, maybe like 30, 40 bucks. Apple, Amazon, Google, Microsoft earnings next week. Or no, not next week. The week after next. The last week of this month is the big week. So the week of the 27th. John, do you think that a crash could happen in the next 4 years? Yes. I mean, it certainly could. It also could not. It might not. I'm not even going to say it's probable. It depends on... That is much more difficult to predict. Like whether we're going to correct, which is like 10% plus drop, can be longer term. A correction's like this, right? Like this is a correction, okay? A crash is, and so that's a harder thing to predict. It depends on a lot of different stuff happening in markets and stocks and microchips and economics. It depends on a lot of different stuff. All right, guys. All right, guys. Look at this big green pop. Let me pull Discord up. I haven't even pulled Discord up. All right, so AMD catches a downgrade. Wolf Research analyst Chris Casso argued as he downgraded shares from buy to peer perform. Although some of the companies that create the chips got lifts. Corvo shares rise on report of activist investor stake increase. XRP crypto price jumps and Bitcoin is up. Look at this move here. You love to see it. Bitcoin currently at 103s right now. Right around 103s. Almost 103s. Look at this run. Everything looks pretty strong. We held that 200 exponential level here. Amazon stock in focus after the reported layoffs. Stocks have been reacting positively to layoffs, so it does mean they're a little bit leaner. But we did have some big drops yesterday. Most tech stocks fell yesterday. So we're starting to pop up a little bit today. That's about all the news so far. We got housing starts and building permit data that we'll pivot the stream to, I guess, here. Housing starts. Building permits, housing starts. We also have industrial production numbers too. I don't know how much these are going to really move stuff, but it might be worth a look. So housing start data drops in 27 minutes. Building permit data does as well. Housing start's probably the more important one. We also have industrial production number and some Fed speakers here. So look at this run, though, man. Look at markets. Markets up to 367s here, chat. 367s. Yeah, it's Friday. Pawn. There's probably not too much news. It's all good, dude. I'm looking at anything else. I don't really see much else, dude. Alright, so we're short again. We're gonna look for this level here, 361s. And we'll add to this. I don't know if I like that now. I'll take half of that off. Yeah, we're ended up just breaking highs. I ended up cutting most of it though, which is good. I do want to give it a chance to reject here, but it also could just run on strength. There we go, back down. All right, I took another half off there. We only ended up losing like 90 bucks. So we're being very quick to exit if we think we're wrong. And now we just have 2 contracts left. So we got to be a little bit looser on this. We're green on the day nonetheless still, I'm pretty sure. Let me see. We're flattish, actually. Yeah, we're trying to speed run this, and look at that squeeze here, dude. Wow. Terrible for my trade here. I'm gonna have to cut some of this. Yeah, again, like I do so well after the open, but dude, I've been getting beat up in pre-market. This is why I don't trade pre-market. Honestly, trying to pass these combines in pre-market has genuinely made me recognize how bad I am trading pre-market. I gotta just kind of risk it now, but we're down enough to where like we'll just kind of go for it here. It's a big candle. So this is shorts getting squeezed out just like me too. So we're gonna jump in this here. We still got a little bit of range to go, but yeah, definitely not happy about it. We'll just let it play. And if we reset, we reset. You're welcome, guys. Entertainment. We're giving you guys that entertainment. Yeah, I've been trying to pass these combines in pre-market, but realistically, I need to just wait until the opening bell. Like genuinely, I still have $1,500, so this thing go up to about it might be 1,000. Well, I was hoping we get a pullback to this. This is what the trade was originally. And I know everybody's gonna act like I'm the worst trader ever when I'm on almost a 10-day green streak. We've had almost 10 green days in a row on our actual account, but we've just gotten beat up trading pre-market the last couple weeks. Like, look, here's my actual account, just so people can understand. Like, I know I'm in pre-market. I'm not doing good, you know. But we're on like a 10-day green streak on our actual funded account. We just, for whatever reason, we're just not good in pre-market. I think there's a couple holes in my game here in pre-market. One of them, and here's my actual like green day. One of them is that I'm trading against the trend. That's 100% what I'm doing wrong, at least a little bit. The trend is on the upside. I'm trading against that. I also think this big green move is a pretty large move. That came in a relatively rangy play. Like, we're pretty rangy here. I don't think it's a bad trade to think that we might come back down and test this level in this range. I think I got a little bit too stubborn with it, though. But it's all good. We can try again. And ideally, I got to get these up to where I can build $1,500 on a couple of them. But yeah. I don't really care too much about it. I'm just kind of having fun in pre-market. I love the new screen, except for a little bit. The only problem with this screen is that sometimes when I wake it up from sleep mode, it fails. Like, it doesn't connect to my computer. All right, we're going to short this now. I know I'm going to get yelled at, but I think we're right at that big resistance level when we're up a huge amount. And so I'm going to go max size here as well. Try it number 2. And then give this the time it needs to hopefully make that $1,500. We got a lot of range on the downside here, and we got time on our hands, I think. Yeah, like I do really well after the opening bell, and my stats show that. But pre-market, man, I'm just not good at it. But I want to give you guys something to watch as well. And to be completely honest, as bad as this might sound, $50 is not a huge amount of money to me, and so I can lose a couple $100 a day, and I'm okay with that. To be completely honest, it's not the end of the world for me. Do I want to lose, a couple $100 a day trading combines? No. But if I lose this one, I'm absolutely just going to wait until the opening bell. I'm going to reset it and then maybe get 2 accounts, wait for the opening bell, try to build up $1,500 that way, because I do think this is a little abnormal, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 green candles in a row is still kind of abnormal. So I don't hate the short, but yeah, I think I'm certainly trading too much, trading in pre-market when I shouldn't. It's just in your head. I don't think it's in my head. I think I'm absolutely worse at trading pre-market, number one. I think there's less volume, less easy trends for me to attack. But I also think that I take more risks in combine accounts, right? When I'm funded, I take much less risks, and that's how I'm able to do this in my actual funded account, is because I'm taking much less risk to do it, and I'm being much more calculated and safe. With these, I'm just kind of clicking buttons. To be honest, though, this green surge is kind of out there, man. I'm not really mad about it, because honestly, my stock portfolio is probably going to benefit from it. I'm trying to see if there's any reason for this. Does anybody know what stocks are pushing up the NASDAQ right now? I'm trying to see if Amazon's up some, Nvidia's up some as well, but not enough to justify the NASDAQ moving like this. Apple's testing highs. Let me see. Meta, TSM. TSM's not really up that much. Microsoft, maybe. Microsoft's breaking highs. Google's breaking highs. Netflix is down on yesterday, but green in pre-market. MicroStrategy. Only invest what you can afford to lose without that loss having any effect on your daily life. Yeah, I mean, again, if I lose this combine, it really has no effect on my life. And like, again, like I don't want it to rub anybody the wrong way. I'm definitely not happy about it, but it's not like, it's not going to destroy me for the rest of the day, where I know like other people, a couple $100, that's like what they make, you know? And so that'll basically make a, you know, a hard day for them. So it's all good. It's all good. Regardless of how much I make or have or trade or don't trade, if we lose this one, we're gonna just wait until after the opening bell and trade with our big edge, because we've tried this a couple times this week. I'm trading against the trend and it's just not going well. All right, guys, we got housing start data in 17 minutes. 17 minutes. We got about $1,000 left that this can push up before it eliminates us. And this is the good thing about Topstep. Shameless plug here. Topstep, they give you a demo. They test your skill with a demo account first. They're an affiliate of mine. I'm biased. They pay me money. Confirm everything with them. I can't guarantee anything. Understand CFTC 4.41. Hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations. Guys, not an investment professional. But this is honestly, genuinely a good use case argument for Topstep, because if I was trading real money, I would be devastated to lose $1,000. On Topstep, they give you a 50K demo. If you can make 3K without losing 2K, 3-to-2 ratio, following their rules and conditions. Again, confirm everything with them. But if you can do that, they fund you 50K, 90% split. You can see how similar this is to day trading stocks. This is day trading the QQQ price action. The QQQ follows the NASDAQ futures contract, which is what you see on this chart. And so if I can pass this test, I get funding. If I fail, again, it's not the end of the world. I lose $50. It's a great way to learn how to trade. It's a great way to learn how to trade under pressure, but not the pressure of funding thousands in your own account and losing that, because that's a lot more pressure. And trading's about learning how to trade under pressure. No PDT in futures. You can day trade short, buy market, sell market. Very similar to day trading stocks. They've paid out almost $200 million in the last 4 years. They fund thousands of traders. They've been around for over a decade. Just a great way to learn how to day trade. It's the best way, in my opinion. It's something I wish I had in the beginning. But again, I'm biased. They pay me money, so I'm biased, of course. There's the link. Great way to help support your boy here on this channel. There it is. Check it out. Yeah, it could be setting up for inauguration. That's absolutely possible as well. You know, the inauguration day, a lot of people are speculating that we're going to run big. And so, huge 6,000 strike call on ES yesterday, most likely institution buyers. Maybe. Yeah, no, I mean, I lose sometimes. It's all good. Sometimes I lose a couple of these combine accounts. And my record this week certainly hasn't been good with them. But I haven't lost my funded account. And if anything, we made money on both funded accounts yesterday. One of them were on a 10-day green streak, and that's the main one we've been trading. And we only took our first trade on the other one yesterday, which was green. So, like, we're doing good trading. Some people in chat, you know, they're going to act like I'm the worst trader ever because I lose these combines playing around in pre-market, which, you know, I guess that's fair. But in the end, like, it's all good. We're going to reset this. And now we're just not going to trade on it until after the opening bell is what we're going to do. So we went ahead and reset it, but we're not going to trade until after the opening bell. And we'll just kind of sit on it until then. We'll take the actual trading screen off like this and just leave it alone. That's a big run, though. Look at this run. That's a pretty big run on candles here. And if we do trade, maybe we'll trade like stocks right now. Definitely third worst ever. I watch 10-year yields and some bond prices just because they're like, you could watch yields to get an understanding of what the Fed might do in terms of interest rates, where interest rates might go. You can watch yields to determine that. You know, yields can also signal strength or weakness in housing. You know, interest rates can as well. So I watch yields in that regard, mostly 10-year yields. Like I watch the TNX yields, which is currently at 4.6%. So we watch these yields, but outside of that, Like, we pay attention to it just because it's relevant for the economy. A combine account is a challenge account, like where I'm trying to get funded. It's a demo account with real-time data where if I hit certain parameters, I get funded by Topstep. And so that's what it is. So it's basically like a challenge account. So the risk is I'm not losing thousands trading it, which is why I'm trading it in pre-market. I'll trade my actual funded account live after the bell. We'll see if we can get 10-day green streak. Again, we're on a pretty nice green streak, man. We really are. I try not to... I try not to go too deep into like how much I'm up or down at anything, because I don't even claim to be a good trader, right? Like, I'd rather just not have that pressure on me. But here's my stats, right? So we're doing pretty good. Our accuracy rate, let's see where we're at. Our accuracy rate is 62%. Which means our, 62%. We're about a 1-to-1 ratio, average win to average loss. So we're doing pretty good. And again, the good thing now, like the big edge on Topstep, it's why, like even if I didn't trade a Topstep account, I'd love using Topstep X because I could set this right here, right? Like this thing right here, like look. Oh wait, this is the combine account. So like, look, if I go to my actual funded account, you can see the PDD, the personal daily loss limit. So I have it set to where if I lose $200 on my funded account, I'm out, right? And it locks me out of that account for the rest of the day. And that's a powerful thing, man. It really is a powerful thing. It ultimately is going to allow traders to stay funded easier. Because like I'll go through these green streaks. I've had a lot of these green streaks where I'm green 6, 7, 8, 9 days in a row. What happens is that when I start to lose, I take crazy exorbitant amount of risk and I end up just giving my account away, basically. And so being able to set, hey, the max I can lose is around $200 is going to mean I retain most of these profits even if I have a losing day and the green streak ends. And that's a good thing, right? Like that's a very useful thing. Man, the market has not stopped, bro. In the last 25 minutes or so, the market has not stopped, dude. This thing has been ripping up, man. Crazy, honestly. Huge gains. I'm trying to see if there's any news to justify it. Well, everybody's worried about money. I never said I wasn't worried about money. What I was saying is that I'm not worried too much. I'm worried. I don't like losing those combines. It's not like I'm completely indifferent to it. But it's not $50 in losses. $100, $150 in a day is on the larger end of what I'll usually lose on those combines. And it's not the end of the world, I guess is the point. But again, now we got to just lock ourselves out into the opening bell. Yeah, look at Nvidia start to run up here, though. Look at Nvidia. So Nvidia is at 135s. I guess we had a really weak day. One of the correlations I should be using a lot more than I am, I think, in pre-market is that if we have, like, here's the easiest way to put it, and this is very consistent, is that if we have a big red day yesterday, forgive me on these lines, guys, forgive me on these lines, but if we have a big red day yesterday, the likelihood of bullish action filling some of that gap is very high. Right, so a rebounding effect like this is very high, and this is very consistent. Nvidia dipped yesterday, now it's rebounding again in pre-market today, and so I think trading against that is probably not the move, especially in pre-market. But it's not always like that. It's just most of the time I would say it is. Let's see when we start to dip. Again, I'm not really trading anymore. I'm going to wait. I don't really like Novo. The only thing I know they do is their discs for asthma. Or is that somebody else? Well, there was no bear market, really. Like, we had a couple bearish... I mean, I don't know. I guess you could say we're in a bear market. Nvidia's been mostly flat. If we look at, like, the SPY itself. Yeah, this is a huge rip. I mean, we're still in this upward trend on the SPY. I don't know if we're going to correct anytime soon either. I think we might in the next year or two, but it doesn't mean anything. Yeah, I kept doing that as well, South. I kept getting beat up trying to short this rally. This is very, like, I'm not sure what happened or what drove this move, though, is what I'm trying to figure out. Intel is in an acquisition target, according to semi-accurate citing sources. They had some ECB members speaking. Elderson said they face risks if they cut too quickly or slowly. Not yet done with easing, according to Dagblad. Are the fires still raging in Cali? I guess in some ways the safest place to buy is like the Midwest in the US. You know, prior to this, I was thinking about buying Cali real estate just because of the percentage increases there, like, you know, and the appreciation. But this is making me completely rethink that. New England, yeah. Long-term bonds had record call option activity yesterday on the bull side. So they think, does that mean that they think interest rates are going down more? Because bond prices are going to correlate with, if bonds are going up, that means interest rates, they think interest rates are going to go down because interest rates and yields have a positive correlation. So like if interest rates are going down, yields are going to go down with it. The bond prices are going to go up. And so, yeah, that's interesting. When are you going to change your profile picture? What do you mean? The beginner trading logo? No, I'm not changing that. Look, if it was just John London, right? If it was just John London, I'd have some cutout picture of me on there, but it's not. We're you know. All right, guys, we got 2.5 minutes. We got almost 1,000 people here for housing starts. Listen, housing starts probably aren't going to influence the market heavily, guys. I'm just telling you. I mean, we're covering them, but they're not gonna. They're not some like wild, big influencing move. All right, guys. I'm here to talk about Bob Ross. Wait, does it let anybody do the ad sign? Yeah, I'm still waiting, guys. Market's still pumping up, man. We got housing starts data in about 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Hit the live button next to the play button. Housing start data expected at 1.33 million. 1.33 million. Oh, what have I done, dude? Oh, I pinned it. Okay. 1.33 million here, chat. We got 10 seconds, basically. 15 seconds. Housing start data expected at 1.33 million. We'll see what it shows up as. Here we go. 10 seconds, really. And housing start data showed up at, let's wait for it, 1.5 million. 1.5 million. Stronger housing data than expected. 1.5 million versus 1.33 million expected. I wonder if the Vanguard stock is going to run at the opening bell. Again, stronger housing starts data than expected. 1.5 million. Building permits also showed up higher than expected at 1.483 million. Stronger building permits, stronger housing starts than expected here. We'll put this up on screen again. 1.499 million. A 15.8% month-to-month change in housing data. Look, we'll put this up in the chat right there. There's the housing starts number. Here's the change. Again, 15.8% change in housing starts. We'll put that up on screen, and then we'll put this other thing up here. Yeah, kind of crazy. Building permits more than expected as well. All right, guys. And here's the data right here on the screen. We'll put it up. There's the data at the very top of the screen. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, so housing start data is, just to put it into perspective, if you want to know like what it means, housing start is the change annually in the number of new residential buildings, houses, that began construction during that specific month. It's strength or weakness in the housing sector, and it was strong, and the market seems to like it. The strength in the housing sector can influence and mean a lot of different things. But yeah, it's definitely strong here. Like, look at this. So we are up. Markets are running too, dude. Look at this, bro. It's kind of crazy how much they're up, man. It's kind of crazy. Look at this run. We're up so much, I'm tempted to short, but I also don't want to trade against this trend, and I think I'm just going to wait. We got an hour before the opening bell. Look at the spot up here, too. Look at NVIDIA. Did this song play twice? Or is it just really long? All right, we're still running, but there's housing start data, chat. Wow. Hindenburg research shut down? Did it really? They must have gotten rich and now they don't want to do anything. Did they really shut down? No. Okay, yeah, so Hindenburg research founder decided to shut down. Wow. All right, guys, so let me read the Hindenburg research. This is very interesting. Hindenburg research is a huge short report. It's the Hindenburg short report is what they publish, right? They look at sketchy companies and publish reports, and you better believe they're shorting some of them too and making money. And so I'm going to read this. And again, I'm quoting from Hindenburg Research's note by the founder of Hindenburg Research. Market is still pumping up on strong housing data here, pumping up on strong housing data. But again, I'm going to read this, and it goes, quote, "As I've shared with my family, friends, and our team since late last year, I have made the decision to disband Hindenburg Research. The plan has been to wind up after we finish the pipeline of ideas we were working on, and as of the last Ponzi cases we just completed and shared with regulators, that day is today. I write this from a place of joy. Building this has been a life's dream. I did not know at the outset if it would be possible to find a fulfilling path. This wasn't an easy option, but I was naive to the danger and felt drawn to it magnetically. When I started this, I doubted I was capable. I didn't have a traditional finance background. None of my relatives are in this field. I went to a state school. I'm not a slick salesperson. I don't know of the right clothes to wear. I can't play golf. I'm not some superhuman that can function on 4 hours of sleep. In most of my jobs, I was a good worker, but mostly overlooked. I had no money when I started, and after catching 3 lawsuits immediately out of the gate, I quickly had less than no money. I would have failed right at the starting line if it had not been the support of the world-class whistleblower lawyer, Brian Wood, who took the cases on despite my lack of financial resources. I had a newborn child and was facing eviction at this time. I was terrified, but I knew if I stayed still, I would crumble. The only option I had was to keep moving forward. It is very easy to succumb to negative thoughts and believe what others think of you, especially when things feel low, but it is possible to shatter all of that. I was passionate about this, and I let that carry me forward despite my fears and insecurities. And then this slowly started to flourish. Again, referencing Hindenburg Research. One at a time and without a clear plan, we built a team of 11 incredible people. I hired each of them not because we needed workers, but because when our paths crossed and I would see who they were, I realized it was madness not to bring them on. They are all smart, focused, and fun to work with, little to no ego. When you meet them, they are all nice and polite, but when it comes to this field, they are ruthless assassins capable of world-class work. Like me, our team didn't come from traditional finance backgrounds. My first hire often described himself as a former bartender. We all have a shared view of the world and mostly calm exterior and similar burning underlying intensity. They are all family to me. We have all worked extremely hard with a focus on precision and letting the evidence dictate our words. This is, all right, I'll try to go through this quick. It's kind of long. Sometimes this meant taking big swings and taking on fights that are much bigger than any of us as individuals. Fraud, corruption, and negativity also seem overwhelming. Early on, a sense of justice was usually elusive. When it happened, it was tremendously fulfilling, and it kept us going when we needed it. And boy, did we have an impact. Eventually, more than I imagined was possible at the outset. Nearly 100 individuals have been charged civilly or criminally by regulators, at least in part through our work, including billionaires and oligarchs. We took some empires that we felt needed shaking. We shook some empires that we felt needed shaking. Over time, people began to see what I had hoped we could show, that having an impact is possible no matter who you are. It also has been rather intense and at times all-encompassing. I often wake up from my dreams because I've thought of a new investigative thread to pull in my sleep, or an edit that clarifies a point I didn't realize I was troubled by during the day, or from the general pressure of it all. We are not fearless. We just have faith in the truth and hope it leads us down the right path. All right, so this is very long, guys. Do y'all want me to keep reading? Or would you guys rather me stop and just cover markets? NVIDIA testing highs of the day. Looks like a cup and handle. Oh yeah, they did publish this 2 days ago. I didn't even realize. Bitcoin is over 110. Are you lying to me, sir? Bitcoin's at 103. Less than that, actually. It's at 102 something. 102.6. All right, guys. Do you think it's good or bad that Hindenburg shut its doors? Nah, man, listen, I think some of you guys, listen, they certainly profited from this, and they're gonna act like it was all, you know, ooh, we did this, we're the moral police, we're righteous. They're gonna act like they're gonna be the most self-righteous they can, of course, but you better believe they made millions from this, and they're probably riding off into the sunset right now. And I can't really knock them, because some of the stuff that they were looking into was like, they could get in trouble if they don't put out facts. And so the stuff that they were saying was mostly true. All right. Now, you might have been holding some of the stocks that they were talking about, and of course, in that regard, you probably dislike them. But it doesn't mean they're bad necessarily. It just means they pointed out corruption where they saw them, and a lot of the companies are still around. Like I know their biggest haters are going to come from Supermicro Semiconductors, because Supermicro Semiconductors has never really gotten back to where it was. But I mean, very quickly after Supermicro Semiconductors had their short report written about it, independent auditors that were independent from that situation stepped out and stepped away from Supermicro Semiconductors because they saw sketchy stuff too, right? It's not a shock. And I know some people might have bought it up here, but to be completely honest, if you're buying Supermicro after it's up literally almost 1,000%, I'm not going to say you deserve to lose, but you're certainly like taking an unreasonable amount of risk in a trade, right? You're getting greedy. So all right, guys. So again, we had building permits, housing start data out. All right. Yeah, again, I'm trying to read the rest of it. Nate Anderson. Someone once told me that at a certain point, and this is all quoting again, it says, someone once told me at a certain point, a successful career becomes a selfish act. Do y'all believe that's true? I don't necessarily believe so. I think it's important health-wise to work if you like working. Like, my dad's a workaholic. You know, he's over 70, still working, still wants to work, does not want to retire. Even though, like, he makes enough through, like, Social Security that he doesn't need to work right now. I know he doesn't, but he just wants to work. And I think it's important too. Like, I'm a workaholic as well. I love, honestly, genuinely love, like, showing up to these streams every day. I like real estate when I do it. I like programming when I do it as well, right? Like, I like all types of work, and it gives me something to do. I feel like if I sat at home doing nothing, I'd be bored, right? Which is why I really don't understand people that just sit around and don't do anything. It depends on what you do. Like, if you're taking care of family, I've got some friends that have, like, stayed home and taken care of family, and that's different. But, like, other people that are just not doing anything, I never understood it, you know. Yeah. Yeah, join our Discord. Completely free, doesn't cost a thing. I figured that. I just realized that me plugging my own Discord is, like, I plugged it yesterday. We got so many people. Hey, join our Discord. It doesn't cost a penny. It's completely free, and it's starting to get some interest. So, hey, if you want to join our Discord, doesn't cost a thing. Here it is. Check it out. Pawn posted it right there. I'm on house arrest with my background. I struggle to find employment, but trading lately has completely changed everything in a short amount of time. I feel you, Hunter. I get it, man. I really do. I remember when I got interested in trading. And it completely, you know, like the traders that end up, like, sticking around are traders that are deeply passionate about it. Like, I watched the movie The Big Short, and as soon as I saw that movie, I knew it was something that I was going to be wildly interested in. And so I came home, started learning it, lost a bunch of money, but that didn't discourage me too much. And you know, it all worked out for the best, because now I have, you know, this community that is pretty large now, and, you know, certainly brings in money. And it's just a beautiful thing. Love trading still. Get excited to look at the market every day. So, you know, that's life. As a day trader, mostly sit around not doing anything. Yeah, I get it, man. Hey, that's the dream, is it not? My dad is the same. My dad has tons of hobbies, though, by the way. Like, my dad is exactly like I am, in that my dad's got some hobbies, bro. Like, I am interested in, like, programming, jujitsu, tech, trading, the stock market, economics, poker, you know. There's a bunch of stuff I'm interested in. Sports. Like, I've got a lot of different hobbies. Pretty normal hobbies, though, for a guy, but watches. I like watches. That's a big hobby of mine I've taken over the past, like, couple years. You know, yeah. There's probably some more in there that I just can't think about. Video games, you know. But my dad likes radios. You know, he's got, like, a bunch of certifications for, like, radios. I don't know if they're ham radios or what, but he's got, like, radio certifications, and so he's, like, really into radios. But he also likes watches. My dad likes watches. He's into a bunch of different stuff. He likes cars. My dad's a falconer, so he hunts with falcons. Yair, what it do? Tell us your strategy. Shout out to Yair. Thanks so much, bro. Appreciate it. Hey, nice, man. Yeah, so I got you, bro. I'll tell you my strategy in a second, Yair. Again, I'm going to preface it with I have no freaking idea what I'm talking about. Read the bright yellow at the top of the screen. Do not copy me. I have no idea what I'm talking about. If you copy me, you might lose. Not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose. Always understand all this stuff right here. Not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose money. Understand CFTC 4.41. Hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations. I do trade off stream. Sometimes I lose off stream. You're not going to see all my trades. Don't copy me. I have no freaking idea what I'm talking about. All right. Now, with that said and out the way, let me raise myself up here. This might be a little bit better to do. Just kind of stick myself right here. Now, with that said and out the way, number one, if you want to check out Topstep, here's the link. I'll put the link up. Great way to learn how to day trade. There's no PDT rule in futures. I can day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, the Russell, gold. These are my stats on my actual funded account on Topstep. And the way I've been doing it is I've been avoiding pre-market trading completely. Only trading after the opening bell, 5+ minutes after the opening bell. And then setting on Topstep X, I can set a maximum loss per day where it'll liquidate and block me for the rest of the day. That's at $200. So very small, right? But the way I trade is very simple. And again, if you want to check out Topstep, the big edge is that there's literally no commissions. And so I can day trade with literally no commissions. I can basically day trade the SPY, the Q. They give you a demo, test your skill with it. You pass the test, they fund you. You fail, you only lose. The base one's $50. Basically, it's not the end of the world. If you pass it, you get a 50K funded account, 90% split, which is similar to funding your own account, and you get to keep your first 10K in profit. They've paid out almost $200 million since 2020. They fund thousands of traders, been around for over 12 years. And again, the biggest edge in funding is zero commissions. It's the best of both worlds, limited risk, $50 a month. But again, they're an affiliate of mine. I'm biased. They pay me money. So if you want to check them out, here's the link. Great way to help support the channel. Comes with real-time data. Anyways, with all that said and out the way I trade is like this. I document levels, and I try to find good risk-reward situations. So an example of this would be like, I'm going to give you guys a short idea. I don't really like it, so I wouldn't necessarily do it. But an example of this would be shorting it. If we break underneath this green candle here, shorting it using a risk level, like if I enter short here, setting a risk level of slightly above this, and so my risk level is this, and then setting a reward target of this low right here, so that my reward target is this, right? So it's about a 1-to-1, maybe a little bit better than 1-to-1 ratio there, but that way my accuracy is, I could also use maybe a little bit tighter risk. So I could set a risk level, like just to give you some other ideas of how I normally like take positions. I could also give myself a tighter risk and say, hey, if it breaks this level here, cut it, right? And so in that situation, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. If I lose this much. If I win this much, right? So it's about a 1-to-1 ratio there, and consistently giving myself an at least 1-to-1, but sometimes 2-to-1 reward to risk is beneficial. The only thing though is that I do kind of trade with trends, and so I do better when I'm trading with the specific trend. And so I typically have better results, honestly, looking for pullbacks to levels like this, like waiting for this dip here, using this level as a risk. This is a reward target. So if I buy here, here's my risk, here's my reward target, right? 2-to-1. Stuff like that, trading with the trend though. Those are the type of trades I usually get involved with, pullback trades. I also use momentum. And so that's the way I day trade. And that's really what's, I use the 200 exponential, which is down here a lot. This 200 exponential moving average, and what it shows you is that we're pretty extended away from it. But I use that a lot. I also when I'm talking about like swing trading and investing, I also kind of buy blue chip companies after earnings. And if we get like a lot of weakness where a blue chip company's down 10, 15, 20%, I will buy that up a lot of the time. And if it continues dropping, I'll kind of DCA long term as an investment. But most of the time, we're going to get a rebound within the next week or two. If we gap down big from like earnings, I do that as well. But again, I'm not an investment professional. I can't guarantee any of this is going to work. I have no freaking idea what I'm talking about. And if you do any of this stuff, you might lose. Not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose. But I appreciate the donation. Thank you. But that's the best way I can explain my system so far. Yeah, don't take trading advice from me. Do your own research. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm doing pretty good, though. Like, lately, my strategies have been working pretty well. I'm on a 10-day green streak. Almost 10 days. If I'm green today, it'll make 10 days. And you can see my profit graph and my actual stats taken directly from the platform Topstep X. So... oh, on Topstep, to get the 200 exponential, you go to indicators here. Or where is it? You go to this, and then you click it, and you go to moving average exponential, which is way down here. And then once it's there, you just change it to 200. So you click up here, you go to settings, and then you change the length to 200. It'll give you the 200 exponential. Yeah, the data's been out. It's right below me right here. But again, I don't even claim to be a good day trader. If you read the disclaimer here, I don't even claim to be good. Do not copy me. Some would say I'm the top 3 worst ever in the world. Definitely top 3. So. All right, guys. What else we got? I'm a little sad to see Hindenburg go, because I think like some of their companies they targeted deserved it, but it's definitely not all of them, you know. But some of them probably did, you know. They caused the Supermicro semiconductor crash. Did they cause it, or did Supermicro being irresponsible with their books cause it? I guess the point I'm trying to say is like if here's the easy. If I lose 9 out of 10 times in trading, and then somebody calls me the top 3 worst trader ever, can I get mad at them for it? I don't think so. I think I gotta agree with them, if anything, you know. And so, can we get mad at Hindenburg for stating facts about Supermicro? And they were facts, right? Like, they could get in trouble if they weren't facts. You better believe they get sued if they weren't. But if they're factual, can we knock them for it? And I know a lot of people lost a bunch of money, but again, I'm going to say it again, guys. Listen, look at Supermicro's long-term trend here. Like, if you were literally trying to buy Supermicro around these levels, anywhere around this, you're taking a huge gamble. Like, that's an incredibly risky trade. I was telling people this before any of this. Like, in these 3 weeks, I was telling people they were risky. People kept asking me about it. What do you think about Supermicro? And I said it's super risky. I'm scared it's not going to hold. It might have been back here, actually, before this drop. And hindsight's 2020, but yeah, man, that's an incredibly risky buy. The data was bullish for the housing market. Like the building permits, housing start data was all stronger than expected. What's up with AMD? AMD got downgraded overnight. Is what it, you know? What's up with them? I think they got downgraded, but they're actually gapping up a little bit, filling the gap some. I'm in AMD right now too. We're in a couple different things, and we're pretty green on them. Netflix is really doing me well. We got a Netflix at 830s. It's at 850. Amazon too. We got an Amazon at 190s. It's at 220s right now. You love to see it. We're in Target as well. We got a Target at 121 something, and it's at 133s. Hey, what's up, Bryn? Yeah, shout out to him. Great man that sacrificed a lot for the country, you know. So is it possible a big bubble will be created in 100 days? It's possible. I don't know if it's probable, but it's possible. All right, looking at our poll numbers, are you bullish or bearish over the next week? 73% are bullish. It's almost 75-25. Almost 3/4 of people are bullish for the next week. Inauguration day is what it is. That's a big day. All right, chat. Yeah, we're here. Let's see if we get anything good today, man. Still heading up. Look at the market breaking highs again, man. Nvidia testing highs of the day. Nvidia's right at the previous pre-market high. Let's see if it runs. But man, market has not stopped. Kind of crazy. NVIDIA holding. Yeah, the Bank of Japan interest rate decision next week's pretty big. Does Powell have a speech next week? No, not really. I don't think Powell does. I think his next speech is the Fed meeting on the 29th. He's probably in a blackout period until then, too, to be honest. So Lucky, this is on this in this regard on Topstep. Number one, ask your CPA because I have no freaking idea. All right, no idea what's right or wrong. Ask your CPA. I'm not a tax professional. That's number one. Number two is I would assume that you're independent contractors from Topstep, so it's not, you know, these are, yeah, I'm assuming you're independent contractors. Do you use flag patterns? I use them. I take the context of a flag in there when I take trades, but I don't base them purely around flag patterns or anything like that. Are you bullish or bearish for the next week? I guess I'm bullish because I think inauguration, the market tends to react to the new press, and so I think in that context I'm bullish over the next week because the 20th is inauguration day. But at the same time, I really don't know. We're gonna watch crypto. A lot of people think crypto is gonna run too, so that's what I'm gonna watch. Market's still churning up here. It's up too much for me though. I'm just waiting. Oil, where's oil at? Man, market has just not stopped this morning. This is such a bullish Friday, man. Markets usually aren't this bullish. Combines or tax write-offs? I don't know. I don't know about that. Maybe. Link is in the description if you're interested. But again, I'm not an investment professional. I can't confirm anything. You want to confirm everything with them first. Understand CFTC 4.41. Hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm not an investment professional. And I might trade off stream and lose off stream. Don't copy me. My job is just to bug you guys with disclaimers constantly. You're welcome. You know. Can someone dissect housing data for me? Yeah, so housing starts came in stronger than expected. Almost 1.5 mil versus 1.33 million expected, or 32 million. Up 15.8%. Month to month, which is a big increase, right? So just a little bit more strength in housing. You know, it also could mean a couple different things, though. So, like, this basically means, like, to put it in perspective and understand it, housing starts, this is the number of new residential buildings that began construction, right? So more supply might equal lower prices because of more options and, you know, competition. And so that's another kind of context to understand. It might. It doesn't. It's not 100%. But it could influence it in that way. Yeah, Tesla's right at 420s again. Been that in that spot for a while. Honestly, my channel's grown so much though, Chad. It really has over the last like year. Like we've actually grown like a huge amount. Viewers have getting higher per stream, you know. Wednesday CPI report got almost 40,000 views, you know. PPI got almost 20,000. Like we're growing a lot. Market's breaking highs again, so I just want to thank you guys. I appreciate the love. Thanks for helping me grow. It really goes to show you can tell people you have no idea what you're doing and still grow. So thanks so much. We're still running up. Look at this candle right here, man. Kind of crazy. So the EU and Mexico reportedly struck a deal on a revamped free trade agreement, according to Bloomberg. Bank of America announces a 5-part issuance of U.S. denominated notes. Yeah, Bank of Japan does their rate decision next Friday. That's a pretty big. I wonder when is it? Let me look this up. All right, so what time does the Bank of Japan announce their rate decision? Friday, January 24th. So this is gonna be a Thursday night, 9 p.m. Or yeah, this is gonna be at 10 p.m. Eastern time, Thursday night. So watch how that influences like futures overnight, because that's gonna be next Thursday night. Did they pump the market now and dump on Monday? I don't know. I really don't. We're trying to hold up there. Yeah, remember, Monday's closed next week, so the whole market will be closed. In terms of economics we have next week, it's kind of boring. We got, like, jobless claims Thursday, U.S. leading economic indicators Wednesday, flash services and manufacturing on Friday. So we got some stuff going on, but it's kind of slow. It's slower for sure. All right, chat. Markets are still churning up here. I can't really trade. I don't know if it's better for me to just wait until the opening bell. I'm thinking that's the move. All right, now we're pulling back. Let's see if we bounce at this big support level that we're looking at. Tesla just broke over 420, which is a big psychological level here. All right, so we're sideways over the last like 5 or 6 minutes, but the market previously before that has just been running up. All right, so now we're testing highs again here, man. We're still running up, dude. I'm trying to kill time here, not get too bored and trade. I'm trying to look at the rest of my portfolio, which should be doing pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, it's doing great. Today. Catch back up. Yeah, appreciate the donation, Yair. I don't know if I thanked you for that $100 donation, bro, but thank you, sir. I'm pretty sure I did. Jobless claims. Yeah, jobless claims next week are always kind of big, but they're not huge. Yeah, we got so in 4 minutes here, chat. We do have something coming out. It's titled the industrial production and capacity utilization. It's not really, to be honest, big. It's relatively insignificant, but we'll watch it and see what happens. Industrial production expected at 0.3%. Last time was minus 0.1%. So we'll watch it, but I don't think it's going to influence anything too big to be completely real. So. Yeah, industrial production capacity utilization. Yeah, it's not small. Say it 5 times fast. Nvidia's still pumping up though at 136s. At the same time though, we've been kind of flat. Like long range, we're kind of slow. Yeah, so next week is slow, but the week after this is incredibly busy, dude. So the week of the 27th, the last week of this month, we've got so much stuff going on. We've got every major earnings report for the most part. Or not every major one, I'm sorry, but we got like durable goods, CB consumer confidence, the Case-Shiller house price index. Wednesday, we've got the Bank of Canada rate decision, the actual FOMC decision as well. We've got Meta, Microsoft, IBM earnings, same day. Thursday, we've got GDP data. We also have more earnings. So let's take a look at next week here. Or let's take a look at this week again. So the week of the 27th, we got SoFi earnings Monday morning. AT&T as well. That'll be pretty big, right? Tuesday, we got Boeing, GM, Lockheed Martin, RTX, Starbucks, Linden Club, Stride, and more. Wednesday, we've got ASML, Progressive, Danaher, Teva, T-Mobile, MSCI, Hess, Lennox, Tesla, Meta, Microsoft, IBM, all same day. Tesla, Meta, Microsoft, IBM, all same day. Crazy, honestly. And so that's all same day. Thursday, we got UPS, Dow, GDP data, Apple, Intel. Friday, we got oil like Exxon, Chevron. And then the following week, the first week of February, we got Palantir in the evening. PayPal, Spotify. Yeah, we just got so much stuff that week, man. My portfolio's still running up, though. Did I say it was flat? If I did, I didn't mean to. I disagree with the 8 EMA, Sam. But we could always disagree. Again, it's too short term. It might seem like it's following it, but actually it's just the 8 EMA is actually just following the price action. So, like, look, if I put it up. Right, here's the 9 EMA, and it looks like it's following it, but it's actually the opposite. It's actually just like this EMA is following the price action. And so what we have right now is we have price action that is very clear trend on the upside, like a very, very clear trend, right? And so that's all this is that the 8 EMA is just following this price action up. I will be right back, guys. Give me like 2 minutes. I'll be right back. I forgot I have to go grab something here. I'll be right back. Actually, we did have industrial production numbers, guys. So we did have the industrial production numbers. Industrial production numbers came in at higher than expected on both fronts. 0.9% for industrial production, and then capacity utilization came in slightly higher as well. So they both came in stronger than expected. But yeah, I'll be right back, guys. I didn't want to miss that coverage. Honestly, I'm back, and the market genuinely hasn't stopped yet, bro. Look at this trend today, bro. It's honestly kind of out there how strong the market has been this morning. It's how you use it. Yeah, all good, bro. All good. Sam. Why is Intel so much? I think Intel is there. There's rumors or maybe confirmed of a buyout for Intel, but the whole market's up, to be honest. But Intel definitely up. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I'm looking at this article about Tom from MySpace. It says Tom from MySpace, Brad Greenspan and Chris DeWolf with Tom created it. In just 10 days, they launched it. It became the top social media site in the world. It had more users than Yahoo or Google. It was valued at $12 billion. MySpace. He sold it in 2005 for almost $600 million. What did he do with it though? Whatever happened to Tom? How many viewers does MySpace get currently? I'm curious. I remember MySpace. I was around for MySpace. I had my top 8. People were freaking mean, I remember. How many visitors per month does MySpace still get? It's still around. As of November, MySpace received 2.65 million monthly visits. 5 minutes and 2 seconds average duration indicates a decline from its peak in April when it had 115 million monthly visitors. Well, yeah, of course it's not from 2008. Tom was my homie, man. That was my friend on MySpace. I disagree that MySpace was better than Facebook. MySpace was worse. You would have to code HTML and CSS yourself. Way more work. You shouldn't have had to do that. They should have done it for you and easier. Tom actually made a smart exit. He got out for almost $600 million. Within the next 5 years after Tom got out, the worth of MySpace depreciated so heavily. It was cutthroat back then with top 8, bro. I remember having a lot of friends where we would have each other in the top 8, and then they would change it all of a sudden and get weird and like boot people out. It was cutthroat, dude. It really was. I had my top 3 for sure. I would always code it though. I would always code the 8. It wasn't really, it's not code. Like people doing MySpace code think that they're programmers and you're not, right? Like HTML and CSS is what builds every modern like web page. But you're not really coding. Like doing this doesn't mean you're actually coding, right? Like doing let me see if that doesn't actually mean you're coding. You know what I mean? Like, but people think they're coding. They're like, yeah, I could code. It's like, no, you can't, bro. But still, it's I guess it's a type of code, but it's not the same. But yeah, it was too hard to customize. I still remember my profile though. And it was It was a day, a moment in time. It's only music now, apparently. Yeah, 100%. That's all it was. Yeah, I used to message girls on there for sure. It's like what you did back then. Be like, what's up? What's up, girl? You know, you like my page? You like my music? You know? All right, guys, we got 5 minutes. Tequila. Honestly, MySpace's code is freaking horrible, dude. I'm trying it now. It's not good at all, bro. This is like terrible. Code is terrible, to be honest. Yeah, it's just not good anymore. All right, so we had a little pullback. We're still trying to run here. We got 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes. Target said they sold a lot, made little profit. Yeah, I mean, we're in Target. We're green on Target. Yeah, I mean, Target's going to be fine long term. It's just a long term play for me. I'm going to try to make it long term. We're breaking highs again, man. Still moving up. Yeah, MTV, man, the problem, MTV refused to adapt to modern media. Okay, like all TV channels mostly did, but some of them did worse than others. And so streaming is the modern age. And Paramount MTV is still pretty big, so like Yellowstone is kind of like an MTV production. We're still running up, guys. Look at this, man. Crazy, dude. And so the MTV still got some content, but a lot of them just refused to adapt. So Rob Dyrdek got rich from MTV, right? Rob Dyrdek's Fantasy Factory at one point was the only successful show, like TV show that MTV was putting out. And so Rob made hundreds of millions of dollars from MTV because it was the only successful show and they needed it. And so he just kept on producing, kind of, you know, they needed Rob. They ended up paying him boatloads of money. But conventional media failed in a lot of different different channels because social media is the new media, right? YouTube, social media. Conventional TV is only used by much older people, to be completely honest. Look at that rejection. So look at that huge move and then that rejection. So like conventional media is not really used by a lot of people anymore. It's still used by some, but certainly not as much as it was 10 years ago. All right, guys. All right, guys, 45 seconds left until the market opens. 45 seconds left. Let's get this pre-market stuff out. All right, guys, we're going to be day trading live here. You guys ready? So there's the opening bell, guys. There's the opening bell. Let's see if we get anything good today. I'm ready. All right, so big correction at the opening bell, short term. Big downfall here. Let's see if it holds. We'll put our actual trading chart up. Put the micro up as well. Draw some levels here. But man, dude, we got a pretty big, like, we got a pretty big, so here's a turnaround here now. So we are moving down. I'm going to wait at least 5 minutes to play anything first. I like True Life. True Life was good. I do remember True Life. True Life was good. I enjoyed it. Look at this retracement. Still a little bit early. I would jump on this short, but it's against the trend and there's too much. It's too late. It's too early after the opening bell. I gotta just wait. Short would have worked. I'm watching Nvidia. Watching Apple, Tesla, Target. We're about 3 minutes into the open. I like a long, but I might be wrong. Don't copy me, not an investment professional. No idea what I'm talking about. Long doesn't look horrible, but we'll see. Could be wrong. I'm not gonna take it though. It's still too early. I gotta wait a little bit of time first. And I'm also just watching Nvidia very close. I like the 200 exponential. Yeah, market's closed on Monday, remember. So the market's closed on Monday. It is a long weekend for us traders. Yeah, glad I didn't take that long. I just didn't like it. It was too risky. I'm also watching Nvidia here too. Look at that support level. Alright, we gotta take our first trade here on the day. See if we get something. We're up a little bit. Alright, just made 20 bucks, 16 or $12, I guess. Small gain. Start the day. Gonna try to build up a cushion first. Still don't hit a long, but it depends on what Nvidia does. Yeah, there's the retracement back up. There's the long. So we got a little pop. Let's see if we hold. Continue up some. Another little $12, $10, $15 there. Up about 20 something now. Attacking that long and the support level we have. Tesla's shooting up some. Yeah, we got the Japanese rate hike next week. That's a big thing too. It's an important thing. All right, here's the resistance level we got. Yeah, so look at that resistance level reject. So that resistance level we did is good. We got to watch NVIDIA closely though. That's a drop. Apple falling. Tesla strong though. Amazon's kind of neutral since the open. I don't know if I want to buy this up or wait. Should have bought it up. It looks weak here. Yeah. Definitely a downward trend. We got a little cushion on the day though, so that's good so far. Apple still flushing down. Giving back some of the gains we made in pre-market and a lot of the stuff on the NASDAQ and the NQ. We'll look for this level here at 512s if we can get a dip down there to buy it. We'll use a pretty tight risk underneath it down here, maybe at like 500 or 45s, depending on what looks better. We might start scaling into this too. NVIDIA rejected down there though, so that's weak looking. So we'll have to reconsider a long then. Unless we find a spot for it. Again, don't copy me, not an investment professional. If you copy me, you might lose. So we're gonna buy this dip. Gonna take a couple contracts here if we get one. So there's 2 contracts now. Took half off. Took the other half off. Just made about $35 there, attacking that support hold with 2 contracts. Up again, decent amount. Over $50 in gains. We got the support bounce exactly where we wanted it. It also correlated with the 200 exponential here on the NVIDIA, which is also another reason we took that trade. at Amazon and Apple, break it down. So I don't really like a long here anymore, but it could bounce. But Amazon's tapping lows of the market open. Tesla's falling a little bit more, and Apple's really breaking down under 230s here. So we got a lot of weakness, to be honest. Man, my portfolio is flying up, dude. What is this from? Oh, it's from Pepsi. Hey, cool. Yep. Got a little confirmation here though, so maybe we'll get a bounce, but I'm not confident enough in it. Yeah. My levels work very well though, man. You can kind of see how you can just base things around support or resistance, just simple support or resistance. Since it's Friday, guys, I think I'm going to switch to my other funded account, which we're green slightly on. I want to lock in that 10th day, and so that'll be 10 green days in a row. Small little $50 gain, but green nonetheless. You know. And then we'll probably set a $100 max. Probably set a $100 max on our losses on that account. But check us out, man. Like, look, this is that account over the last 2 weeks, really. Check it out. So far, so good. It's about time we start scaling up, but I'm confident in the system. We built this support resistance system. Yeah, I'm not really trying to tell people where to buy or where to sell. I'm really not. Like, I'm just... my trades are kind of too quick to call out anything like that, to be honest, as well. Expect the market to remain on this uptrend until next week. Yeah, I mean, I think the market could trend next week. I'm not sure. See, I'm watching Nvidia very closely here, though. All right, so we got 2 contracts in this account. This is our other funded account. All right, we're out of that. Another $25 gain right at that 25.15. Look at the support level that we bought. Took the little profit there. We'll take it. Green is good. It's shocking how much better my trade does when I follow those very simple changes in my rules. Only trade after the bell. Never trade pre-market on a funded account. Wait 5 minutes at least until the opening bell, after the opening bell to trade. Set a $200 max loss on the day, and just document support or resistance every single day. You know, document new levels every day and keep them there. Yeah, very simple. Attack the trend. You can see my accuracy on both of these accounts so far too. So these are my funded accounts. Like, look at the accuracy. We are running at 85 on this one that you currently see. We got 85 total accuracy on this thing. And then the bottom one, the one that has the big green streak, is only running at 62% accurate. But 62 is good. Like anything over 60% is good. Look at this bounce here as well. So we are pushing up. Look at that resistance level holding also. So the levels of what really guide me in these trades. We can usually find good like scenarios to find ourselves in as long as we watch these levels that I draw out. And I'm not telling you to copy me. I have no freaking idea what I'm doing. I might be wildly wrong about anything. But as long as I can stay strict to these levels, base the trades around these levels that I have, we can usually find some edge. Where's AMD at? Look at Nvidia. Nvidia, this is looking much stronger because Nvidia just broke that high finally over the volume weighted average price. It's now at 137s basically right now. So everything looks stronger as long as Nvidia keeps pushing and Apple stops falling. So we got this dip. It depends on if Nvidia holds. And the levels that I drew are still holding here too, so we'll see if they continue. A lot of it's going to depend on what Nvidia does right here. Inauguration day, man. Again, do y'all think we're gonna get red or green on January 20th? I think that's the big thing to speculate on right now, is like, what do you guys think we get? All right, Nvidia breaking down under the VWAP here. Let's see if it holds. Green. I hear you rocking your leg. Can you hear that? I got restless legs. I got ADHD. It's hard for me to sit down for 3 hours. Yeah, but I mean, does the market run because of the 20th? Specifically like crypto, Bitcoin, and the day afterwards, do we get runs from it? All right, so the problem is that Nvidia is showing kind of choppiness right now. Like, I'm not really liking the choppiness that I see here. And so, yeah. Real HCAD. Yeah, I'm not one of those people that just claims to have it just to try to look deep or different, you know. My son has it as well, right? And the signs of real ADHD are hyper focus on things you're interested in, but a very hard, but not being able to focus on anything that you're not interested in. Restless leg syndrome. There's a lot of, like, I'll use my son as an example when I talk about ADHD because he's the easiest one. So my son, we got his IQ tested and we got him tested. Originally, to be honest, we were worried about autism. And so we got him tested, and I've said this before, so don't get mad at me for repeating myself, but it turns out he was fine. Like, he walked right up to the lady testing him and introduced himself, and everything was fine. But he had a like a pretty high IQ, but they diagnosed him as having ADHD combined presentation, bad impulse control. And so bad impulse control, I've gotten a little bit better as I've gotten older, but I know when I was young, I had terrible impulse control. I had no patience is the easiest way to do it. Like zero patience, terrible impulse control. I'd get really, really obsessed about specific things, like different things, interests. I struggled socially in a lot of ways because I was so hyperactive, and a lot of people thought I was like weird. And I can see the same thing with my son. My son has a hard time not like blurting out things when people are talking, and I tend to struggle with that as well a little bit. Like usually I tell my own story to try to relate to somebody, but some people think I'm like hijacking the conversation when I'm really not trying to. I'm really just trying to relate to the person and show them that I'm listening and that I have a relatable story for them, right? So I'm really trying to interact with them positively, but some people get mad. They think you're, hijacking the convo. Either way, but I see a lot of similarities in how my son interacts. I got better at it as I've gotten older. But it's a battle, It's a good thing too. I think it's a good thing in a lot of ways. I can hyper focus on anything I'm interested in, and yeah. All right, so we're flat right now. I'm just kind of stopping trading as soon as I see we're choppy. Yeah, Netflix earnings are interesting next week too. That support level is still holding here. This 513 level I talked about is bouncing directly off of it. Yeah. All right, now we're hitting that resistance level we drew again. Finally pushing over it with strength. Nvidia's starting to test the highs here as well. Yeah, I mean, since then though, my son's kind of gotten older. We're not worried about, like, he's adjusted. I think when I was young with ADHD, I had terrible impulse control, bad willpower, no patience. But I think as people like me get older, you overcorrect. So like now, like I overcorrect in some areas. Conversationally, I still am prone to like blurt out and like sometimes interrupt and sometimes hijack the conversation, but it's not intentional. It's just kind of how it goes. I try not to. I only really worry about it if I'm on like Topstep TV or if I'm on somebody else's show. I don't want to be rude, and like blurt out over somebody. So, all right, guys. So yeah, we're really choppy price action. Yeah, I think I might stop trading too. Yeah, we're still pretty stagnant right now, so I'm probably just going to shut it down. Hey, I love y'all. Again, if you want to check out Topstep and trade with me, they're an affiliate of mine. Of course, I'm biased because I get paid by them, but they're genuinely a great way to limit your risk if you don't want to risk thousands and thousands of dollars day trading the market per account. Great way to learn how to day trade. Most day traders lose. I think that's probably the same here. Most day traders lose regardless of where they go. I do trade off stream. You're not going to see all my trades. I'm not an investment professional. I'm not liable. If you lose, understand CFTC 4.41, hypothetical or simulated performance. I have limitations. Chat. Understand all this stuff. I have no idea what I'm talking about. If you copy me, you might lose. Confirm it all with them. I can't guarantee anything. With that said, out the way, Topstep's great because you can learn how to day trade with limited risk. The base one's $50. If you pass it, you get a $50K funded account, as you've been seeing me trade on after the opening bell today. I'm on my 10th green day in a row today, and it will be a 10th green day in a row. But if you fail, you're out $50. So I have a 90% split on this funded account, so I can take 90% of the profit as long as I follow their rules and conditions. It's just a great way to learn, and I can day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, the Russell Gold. Some currencies patterns are very similar to blue chip stock patterns, but remember, most day traders lose, chat. So most day traders lose. If you want to check it out, here's the link. Be ready for next week. Remember, Monday is Inauguration Day. It's also Martin Luther King Day. The market is completely closed. Stock futures markets are closed, so I'm not going to be streaming Monday. Nobody is really, unless they're streaming crypto. And crypto might run. A lot of people think it could run on the 20th leading up to it, so that's possible for sure. We'll see what happens. We also have the Bank of Japan rate decision, jobless claims next week. The following week after that is one of the most filled economic data weeks, and so we will be ready for that. Earnings week as well. A lot of crazy stuff going on. Netflix earnings next week also. So we'll see what happens, guys. I love you all. You'll have a great, safe, happy time. If you want to check out Topstep, there's the link in the chat. Understand all the stuff I said. Confirm it all with them. I can't guarantee anything. Great way to learn how to day trade. Good for new traders, in my subjective opinion. But as always, not an investment professional. Join our Discord. It's completely free. Doesn't cost a penny. There's the link for that as well. I love you all. Y'all have a great day. Y'all be good at this weekend. Y'all be safe this weekend. I'll see you all next week. Later, chat.